Yo, what's up? What's up? This is your man Thetch the Great checking in once again. Let's get straight to it. Got a great topic for you guys tonight. You see it. Actually, you know what? You may not see it. Let me put it up here. 1 second. Can men and women just be friends? That is the question tonight. And I know that this is going to get a lot of backlash as far as how I feel about this. I know this is going to get a lot of backlash from all the simp ass motherfuckers out there, but I don't care. And it is what it is. Can men and women just be friends? That is the question. This is one of those topics that, you have a lot of polarizing opinions on in society, and I must say that when it comes to the topic of whether or not men and women can be platonic, it generally speaking, I would say vehemently that no, fuck no, women and men cannot just be friends, platonic, truly platonic. And when I say truly platonic, I mean as far as neither side actually having ulterior motives or wanting that interaction or that relationship to blossom possibly into something more from a romantic standpoint. Generally speaking, you don't have too many situations where a man and a woman are just friends and they actually just look at each other like that. Now, here's the thing, and I feel like there's one caveat when it comes to a situation where a man and a woman can just be friends. There's only one way that it works, guys. Only one way that it works, and I'm going to get to that a little bit later. Let me talk about the way that it does not work. And this is what a lot of you simps out there continue to deal with, and you allow this shit to happen time and time again, and you're just going along with it. How many times have you guys met a woman, and she'll tell you that, she's looking for, a guy who's not insecure, and because, she has a lot of male friends. A lot of male friends. Think about that. Think about how crazy that sounds. Male friends. Anytime you meet a girl and she tells you that she just has a bunch of male friends, I'm sure that if you're a man who has done a lot of dating, or even a man who's done just a small sample size of dating in the world, I would hope that at some point you smart enough to know that when a woman says she is looking for a man who's secure enough with himself to deal with the fact that she has a lot of male friends, that means that she has a bunch of simp ass motherfuckers in the friend zone. And you know what it means when a woman has a man in the friend zone? Because, the thing is, women live in this perpetual delusion that when guys are their friends, or when, no, he doesn't, we don't look at each other like that. I look at him like a brother. Well, bitch, maybe you look at him as a brother, but he damn sure don't look at you as a sister. You better believe that more than you believe in God, baby. That's the thing. That's the thing. And here's the thing, guys. Women are looking for you in modern society to be a simp who is okay with that woman having all of these dudes in the so-called friend zone, even though you as a man know how men think. You know that those clown-ass motherfuckers are over there. They're just waiting on their opportunity to pounce, hoping that one day maybe she'll be tipsy enough, or maybe one day she'll just give them just a chance to give them a little bit of a peek outside of that friend zone and into her panties. That's what the men are just hoping for. These pathetic simp ass motherfuckers, because you have to be a simp, right? And here's the thing, you have to be a simp in order to even allow a woman to put you in the friend zone. Because if you're a man and you just met a woman, right, and y'all are getting to know each other, and then all of a sudden you realize that you're not going to be able to get her attention from a romantic standpoint, or she doesn't look at you in that way, then you should completely eliminate all interaction immediately. What point is there to keep that chick around? There is no point. There's no point in keeping a woman around that you are getting absolutely no utility from. However, so many men, so many simp ass dudes in society allow women to take advantage of them time and time again, because men, generally speaking, are the ones providing all the utility, especially in a situation like that where a man and a woman are platonic and there's nothing going on there. But here's the thing. A woman will literally keep a simp in that friend zone because there's so many things that she can get out of a man. She can probably get him to buy her stuff, maybe take her out to dinner as friends, or when they go out, she can get him to probably reach in his wallet, pay for whatever they're doing, even though they're not together in a romantic capacity. And then there's so many simps who just want proximity to an attractive woman. They're so thirsty for just just a chance to be seen with an attractive woman, that they will just go along with it just to be going along with it. As crazy as that may sound. As crazy as that may sound, that's just how crazy a lot of dudes are, or should I say a lot? That's just how pathetic so many men are in this devolved society that we live in, right? And I feel like there's only one scenario where a man and a woman can be friends and it truly actually benefit the man. And that is in a situation where the man and the woman, obviously they met each other, and instead of the woman putting the man in the friend zone, the only time that it can actually work and it actually benefits the man is where that threshold of touch, that threshold of physical activity, whether it be kissing, touching, whatever, or whether it be the fact that they actually cross that threshold of actually having sex. The only time that men and women can actually be friends and it works out for the man is when the man shuts it down after that. For whatever reason, he decides, you know what, I got the pussy, or you know, I got what I wanted out of this conquest. And you know, I'll just keep the chick around just in orbit, but I'm not really going to smash her no more. When the man shuts it down, he completely changes the usual dynamic as far as who friend zones who. That's the only time it can work for a man, in my opinion. Y'all let me know if you disagree, but that's from personal experience. That's the only time it can work. I would never in life allow a woman to friend zone me and then somehow stick around and pretend that we're friends. For what? I'm not getting any utility from her whatsoever. I'm not getting any usefulness from her whatsoever. Because a woman, what utility does a woman provide to a man who's just her friend? Absolutely nothing. Now, of course, women will tell you, oh, well, I can give him a female standpoint on things, or I can let him know how women think about certain scenarios. Baby, I don't need your bird brain ass to tell me how women think, because you don't understand the experience as a man. You don't understand what it's like to be a man. So why would I ask your opinion on anything? I don't need to have useless women around me in orbit just to get that. That's nothing. But on the flip side, look at how much a woman can get from a man from a utility standpoint by just being his friend. When it comes to something that may be needed from a physical aspect, something she may need built, something she might need put together, something she may need him to help with as far as her car repair, anything you could think of, things that generally men, real men at least, are good at. She can also get him to possibly reach into his wallet, pay for certain things. Like I said earlier, if they go out together, they just happen to just be going and grab a lunch. Most of the time, the man feels obligated to pay, even if the woman's just his friend. But only a simp would even allow himself to be in that situation. That's the point that I'm continuing to drive home here. So the point here is that I don't want any men out there to willingly allow themselves to get put into this shadow realm that is the friend zone. Don't allow yourself to willingly just be put into that friend zone just so this woman can keep you in orbit and use you for your resources whenever she feels fit, whenever she feels so inclined to do so. And then so many men are obviously out there that are simps, so many dudes that have never really learned the way that feminine nature works. There's so many guys out there still to this day who will just willingly do these things. They will willingly allow a woman to use them simply because they want proximity to an attractive woman. They want to be able to be seen with an attractive woman so bad that they will allow her to simply drain them of their resources, simply use them for their utility. And then, you know, the funny part about it is that if you're out with this woman, if you're in simp mode, which a lot of you motherfuckers are, you're in simp mode, you're out with this girl who looks at you as nothing more than a brother. She's just using you for what she can use you for. While you're out with her, she will still give a dude play who she actually finds attractive. And you'll probably sit there simping it up and probably just play your part. You know why? Because you know that it's pathetic that you're allowing this woman to do that to you. You should never allow a woman to put you in a position where you're sacrificing your dignity and your manhood just so you can be seen with her, or just so you can feel that I'm in close proximity to a woman that I find attractive. No. That's why you have to build yourself into the kind of men that actually attracts the woman that you want. That's what it all comes down to. You have to actually turn yourself into that kind of man who attracts those kind of women that he truly desires. That way you won't see yourself constantly getting put into that friend zone, constantly being that simp ass, pathetic, nice guy that a woman will say, oh, you're so sweet. Why can't I find a guy like you? Yeah, right. She'll tell you that just to keep you in orbit, just so she can use you for utility. But you know who she's actually getting smashed and who she's getting her fucking guts rearranged by every night? It's that bad boy. It's the one who's not nice. It's the one who's assertive, who's authoritative. The one who just tells her what the fuck it is and she simply follows. That's who women actually want. They don't want the nice guy. They don't want the nice guy. All the nice guys, all the simp ass motherfuckers get put in the friend zone and they get kept there. And what's so sad and pathetic about it is that so many men are doing this willingly. They see the whole play. All the YouTube videos that most of them have watched about how feminine nature works, and yet they still allow themselves to be taken advantage of. And for that, I can do nothing but simply say, kudos to the women. Kudos to the women who can see a lame ass dude a mile away and who can take advantage of him because he has no self-dignity, no self-respect, absolutely no interpersonal skills, and just no masculinity, no masculine frame as far as how to deal with women, how to actually play the role to perfection as far as maintaining your dignity, your respect for self as a man, and knowing how to be able to have enough discernment to know when a woman is truly into you and when she's not. And when she's not into you, then you as a man have got to have enough respect for yourself to say, you know what? I've already peeped how this entire situation is going. I peeped the play and I ain't fucking with it. Peace. You know what I mean? It's just that simple. I see no reason for men to constantly stick around. Allow these women to hit them up randomly at a whim whenever they need something from them. Whenever that woman needs something from you, you allow her to text you or call you, say, oh, hey, how you doing? Because she knows you're a nice guy, simp ass dude. And hey, something's wrong with my car. Could you come look at it? Say, fuck no. Oh, you want to meet up for lunch? Meet up for lunch. She's just calling you out of random to meet up for lunch so that you can pay. She's hungry. She's hungry, so she's asking you to meet up with lunch. And you're going to foot the bill because you're a simp. And this is what she considers a friend. When women say they look at a dude as a friend, they mean they look at him as an ATM. They look at him as nothing more than a resource, nothing more than a credit card that they can use on a whim whenever they feel like it. That's why it doesn't work as far as men and women being platonic, because it never works out for the man. The only time it ever works out for the man, like I stated earlier, is when the man is the one driving the boat, when he's the one completely in control of the flow of attention, when he's the one who completely shut the woman down and put her ass in the friend zone. It's the only time it works as far as being platonic between men and women. That's a fact. That is a fact. I'm telling you this from life. I'm telling you this from actual lived experience. I have friend zoned women before. I have women in the friend zone right now. And you know what happens when a man puts a woman in the friend zone? Whoo, that is such a dangerous thing when a man puts a woman in the damn friend zone. When a man puts a woman in the friend zone, you know what happens then? It sends that woman on a perpetual validation chase from that man. I'm telling you guys, you got to try it. If you haven't done it before, I want you to put a woman in the friend zone. Completely change the dynamic that society has become accustomed to, where women are constantly putting men in the friend zone. If you want to see a woman behave completely out of character and completely put her on her back foot, get her off balance, I want you fellas out there, all of y'all who are smashing chicks at a high volume, like I used to do. You know, I've leveled up now. I'm an enlightened man now. I'm not just smashing a bunch of random chicks anymore. Wink, wink. But if you want to see a woman completely act out of character, if you want to get her off balance and get her acting like she's probably never acted in her entire life, I want y'all to smash a chick or take one of the chicks that's in your rotation right now. And I want you to just say, hey, you know, baby, listen, I mean, I've had fun with you. It's been cool, but, you know, I'm not really feeling it anymore. You know, I think we should just be friends. Yeah, that's right. You put her in the friend zone and just watch how she behaves from that point, guys. I'm telling you, it drives women crazy. It has them in a perpetual chase to get your validation. It puts women in a never-stopping chase to obtain that validation from you that they so badly want. You have to start friend zoning these women, bro. You gotta change the dynamic. You gotta flip the script on them. And in that scenario, that's the only time that being platonic will work in a man's favor. When we're the ones who are in complete control of how the attention flows in the dynamic, in that relationship, in that interaction. And when the man is in control of who's getting the attention or who's using who for utility, in that scenario is when the man completely has the upper hand. And as a man, you got to take advantage of all the opportunities that you can to have the upper hand. I think we would all agree on that, right, fellas? And that's pretty much it, guys. That's pretty much it. I'm not going to be long-winded. I just wanted to drive that point home. If you want to get a woman to act like she has never behaved in her entire life, if you want to get her all balanced on her back foot because no man has ever done that to her before, I want you to smash her like she's never been smashed before. I want you to knock the bottom out, rearrange her fucking guts. And then you tell her, it was cool, baby. You know, I had fun, but, you know, I think we should just be friends. I'm telling you, women are not used to a man putting them in the friend zone. When you put her in that friend zone, I'm telling you this, guys, from experience. I've done this several times. When you do that to a woman, it puts her in a perpetual chase to obtain your validation. She won't stop. She'll start doing all kinds of nice things out of the blue because she knows that, oh, why would he put me in the friend zone? It must be something about him. Does he look at me as lesser than the rest of the women that he has in the rotation? What is it? She's going to keep questioning herself. She's going to ask herself. She's going to do anything she possibly can to get that validation from you. But here's the thing. You can't let her get it. You got to keep her on a constant, perpetual chase to obtain your approval and to obtain your validation. Hey guys, I know it sounds like I'm playing hardball here. It sounds like I'm playing some evil, dirty, dark psychology trick on women, but it's not. It's just feminine nature. It is feminine nature to want a man's validation. And women are so used to getting attention and validation from all these simps out there. That's why you cannot do the same thing that so many other men are doing. You can't give her that validation. You can't give her that attention that she has not earned. Quite the contrary, you must make her chase your validation. And when you smash these hoes and then you shut them down and you put them in the friend zone, it keeps them chasing your validation in perpetuity. And that's all I'm going to say tonight, guys, because that is some real game right there. That's some free game for your ass. You're welcome. Hit me up in the comments, fellas. Let me know what you think about this. And in the meantime, I want y'all to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel so you can get some more real ass game like this, all right? This is your man, Thetch the Great. I'll holla. Peace.